A generation ago, the University of Pittsburgh made a big bet that a surgeon named Thomas Starzl could solve the riddle of organ transplantation. Today, it looks like an obvious move, but back in the late 70s, it was anything but. Starzl's work was more than controversial, but he came to Pittsburgh and he did revolutionize transplantation, making it a common clinical practice worldwide. And now the story has been captured in a new documentary, Burden of Genius. Kurlander is back with us, a senior lecturer at Pitt. He co-produced the documentary. And welcome back. Good to see you again.
Here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations. I know making a movie is no easy task.
Well,
you've done another one.
We did one on polio, and it took us longer to make the movie than for Jonas Salk to do the vaccine. So, but this one we're really excited about.
Yeah, what was it about Starzl that got you interested in telling his story?
Well, we had done a movie about Pittsburgh coming back called My Tale Two Cities, and we had filmed him walking his dogs in the park. And one of my young students had showed me a clip of him on Nightline in 1983 with Ted Koppel saying, "Why are you doing this experimental surgery? You're giving false hope. The statistics don't show you can do this." And it was extraordinary. And I remember C. Everett Koop defending him, saying, no, we think he's going to do it. It just hasn't gotten there yet. And I always thought, like, wow, in the rearview mirror, success is so easy, as you mentioned. But, and I went to Starzl and I said, "Can we do this movie?" And he said, "No." He said, "It's too complicated. You'll never get it right." And some big people from Hollywood had tried to do his life story too. And he was very reticent. Then we did that movie on Jonas Salk and polio. It won some awards and ended up on the BBC and Smithsonian Channel. And eventually, a few years ago, 4 years ago, he met with myself and Randy Jewell from Pitt and agreed to let us try this. So.
I think we've got a little clip that really goes to the heart of the controversy at the time when he was trying to figure this out. So why don't we look at a little clip from Burden of Genius.
I've always found that the best way to get a job done is to get the job done before anyone realizes what you're up to. I think the space between heroic endeavor and being an outcast is not all that great.
Tom is a Nietzschean Superman. He's able to steel himself against his human emotions better than the vast majority of us.
He said, "Do you know why I succeeded?" I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Because I ignored the bullets."
It's interesting. I came to Pittsburgh in 1982, and as a young reporter on television, I stood outside children's hospitals and Presby many nights covering the story of these transplantations as they were beginning to work. But I didn't appreciate how controversial and how much doubt there was just a few years before.
He had amazing resilience. You know, in 1967, he did the first successful liver transplant, but hundreds of people, sadly, did not make it through. But really, it was his immunology work to keep the patients alive longer that was his probably biggest achievement. But when he came to Pittsburgh in 1981, there were so many protests and people saying he couldn't do it. But by 83, 84, you know, this became the transplant capital of the world, and it changed medicine, it changed the city, and it changed the world.
Well, it really has. It's made our region, you know, a global leader in the whole realm of not just transplantation, but regenerative medicine, some of the really exciting work that's going on here today. It all goes back to that decision to take a chance on this guy.
Well, you know, I've always thought it was a little kooky for me to be back in Pittsburgh trying to build an entertainment industry here. And what I really appreciate about him is he had such a vision. As the last segment said, is ignore the bullets. We want to get T-shirts. Because Starzl was an amazing, charismatic figure, but he had so many times that he had his own sense of, is this going to work? But he believed that he was going to do it, and he went through whatever obstacles. And it's just extraordinary when you watch the movie. People's mouths drop off, and they don't know who Tom Starzl was beforehand. And afterwards, they said, this movie needs to be seen everywhere. On top of that, we have people who literally have changed their organ donor status after seeing the movie, saying, "Oh my God, I just want to let you know I'm now an organ donor. I didn't understand what a miracle this really is."
It's a great story. It's done. I know you're doing the sort of the film festival circuit, but how do people find out where they could get a chance to see this?
Yeah, so we premiered at CineQuest in Silicon Valley, and we won the Cleveland Film Festival. It's a global health competition. But we have people who have asked for private screenings for various medical places, and we do, if people go to burdenofgeniusfilm.com, they can reach out to myself and the other producers, and we'll try to work with them. I mean, really, we want this movie to get seen in every high school, every college, every medical university, and certainly the transplant community and the donor community. We sold out 4 screenings in Cleveland. We were shocked.
In Cleveland?
In Cleveland. They were like, they called me and I said, like, who's coming? And literally they turned people away. But, you know, Pittsburgh often, as you know, sometimes it does great things and doesn't appreciate its own stories. And who Starzl was, I just want to mention, if you go by Pitt, you'll see a bench that Joyce Starzl, his wonderful wife, had made sure happened. And the Starzl story is so much, he loved Pittsburgh, even though he wasn't from here originally. And what he did is so much a Pittsburgh story.
Well, and he was so much a part of the community. I remember writing him over the years, not just as a reporter, but just as somebody at the original hot dog house. And then there was Dr. Starzl. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I will tell you in the movie, they do say everyone else had a pager, and him, if they had to get him, he'd be at original hot dog or Dunkin' Donuts. So yeah.
So true Pittsburgher. Carl Kurlander. The movie is Burden of Genius. You go burdenofgeniusfilm.com and find out where to see it. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you so much, Bill. Take care.
Next up, from life-saving healthcare to healthy food and a chance to help a few neighbors in need. Please stay with us.